All right, they're asking us to write each of the quadratics in vertex form and then identify the vertex. So this is our step 1, make space, step 2, be work kind of problems. So it's given to us in standard form. Remember that standard form is ax squared plus bx plus c. And we're converting to vertex form, which is the stretch, the horizontal shift, and the vertical shift, like that. Okay, so here I go. Step 1 on each of these is going to be to make space. So I'm bumping that 71 over. Off to the side to do the B work. Half of 16 is 8. 8 squared is 64. I'm going to be adding 64 and subtracting 64 off to the side. That gives me the x plus 8 squared factors right here for this trinomial. And then 71 minus 64 is 7. And so to identify my vertex, it's right here at the back. Remember that the x is the opposite sign, so -8, 7. That's my x or my y, or also known in vertex form as my h and my k. There's my vertex. So that's what you're doing on these ones. Go ahead and pause the video, try the next one. All right, let's see how you did. This time there's a negative out front, so I need to factor that negative out as if it's a coefficient of an invisible -1. So when I divide that out, it changes the sign there of that middle 14, and then we're going to bump off to the side that -59 to wait for later. Okay, so half of 14 is 7. 7 squared is 49. We're going to add 49 and subtract 49 -1 times. Why -1 times? Because of this negative invisible 1 that we factored out. So negative x plus 7 squared, that comes from this trinomial, and then -59 plus 49 is going to give me a -10. I guess I don't need to box that. And then we just identify the vertex. How'd you do? All right, pause the video, try the next one. Okay, here we've got a coefficient of 2 that needs to be divided out before I can do the B work. So 2 divides out of 36 18 times. And we're making space and leaving the 70 off to the back. Sorry, ran out of space there. So we go off to the side to do the B work. 18 divided by 2 is 9. 9 squared is 81. So we're adding 81 and subtracting 81 2 times because of this coefficient of 2 that we divided out. So this gives me the x plus 9 squared factors. So this trinomial factors down to the x plus 9 squared factors. I need to write this lower. I feel like it's getting in the way of all this. Hang on. Definitely ran out of space on this one. So the 2's in front. We're making the perfect square factors from that trinomial. And so it's the x plus 9 squared factors. And then we've got 70 minus 162 because of 81 times 2. So we're going to get x plus 9 squared minus 92. Check me on that last number. Okay, so then what's my vertex and all that? It's going to be -9, comma, -92, my HK. All right, next one is factoring out a coefficient of half. When I do 8 divided by 1/2 to factor that out, it's like saying keep, change, flip. And instead of saying 8 divided by 1/2, it's like 8 times 2. So this 8 turns into a 16 in the middle because of that fraction that we're dividing out. All right, then that plus 7's hanging off to the back there. So now we go to the B work on the new 16. What's half of 16? 8. What's 8 squared? 64. We're adding 64 and subtracting 64 half times. This coefficient that came out is coming back in. So what perfect square factors does that make? And half of 64 is minus 32. You got it. This is the x plus 8 squared factors. Final answer, stretch of 1/2, x plus 8 squared. And then 7 minus 32 is minus 25, I think. Double check me on that. And then there's my vertex, -8, -25. Remember, the sign is opposite. All right, next one, we're dividing out a coefficient of 3. When I divide out the 3, I'm left with minus 8. I'm then going to go off to the side and do my B work on the -8. Half of -8 is -4. -4 squared is 16. I add 16 and subtract 16 3 times. So that's the x minus 4 squared factors, 43 minus 48. And there's my vertex. All right, last one, pause the video, try it, pretend like it's your test. So this one, when -6 divides in, it just leaves us 2. Half of 2 is 1. 1 squared is 1. We're going to be adding 1 and subtracting 1 -6 times because of this. So here we go. It's the x plus 1 squared factors, and we get -13 plus 6. Oops. -13 plus 6 is just -7. What's my vertex? Okay, you got it. So on the test, we're going to see 1, just plain 1, with a coefficient of invisible 1. And then we're going to see 1 with a coefficient that needs to divide out something that's greater than 1. So there will be 2 of these problems on the test. Be prepared for both a simple and complex one. All right, last but not least, you should be able to graph from vertex form. So here we go. Double check your work. Vertex here is going to be -2, -8. Orientation is positive, so it means up. Shift is left 2. And down 8. Stretch is positive 2, always positive. So here I go, x and y. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make sure you've labeled and scaled all your graphs. And then go put that dot at -2, -8. And then remember, for stretch of 2, we're counting out 1, up 2, out 2, up 8. You need at least this many dots to connect your parabola. And then please draw me a line of symmetry straight down the middle with arrows to infinity, and we're done. All right, stop the video, try the next one. See how you did. Did you get a vertex of +1, 3, orientation up, stretch of 1/4, shift is right 1, up 3, Okay, then my stretch of 1/4 means I'm going to go out 1 and up 1/4 on both sides. And then we're going to go out 2, which would normally be up 4. So 1/4 of the normal 4 is just up 1. So out 2, up 1. A 1/4 stretch is really slow growth compared to the parent. It should be really wide. And then make sure to draw your little line of symmetry down the middle with arrows to infinity. All right, last but not least, we've got -2, 10 as our vertex. Orientation this time is down. We've got a shift of left 2, up 10, and stretch of 3. Notice I keep the negative away from that. The stretch is just the whole number, or the number by itself with no sign. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 marker. 1, 2, 3, 4, -5 marker. -5, and label that X and Y. Okay, so I'm going back 2, up 10, right at the top, and we're going to be counting stretch of -3. So out 1, down this time 3. Out 2 is normally 4. We're going to go 3 times that 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Connect it. Draw me your line of symmetry, and we're done. All right, how do you feel on those graphs? You feel ready?